Hi guys, and welcome to the opening day of the Euros basically, and we're going to sit down and go through our fantasy teams. I'm going to slag and absolutely go through Ahmed for his poor decision making and the fact that I'm going to beat him in the fantasy tournament.
Wonderful.
And he'll do the same back to me. So I'm looking forward to it, Ahmed. Just get us straight into it. Go and share your screen and let me see who you've got in goals and in defence.
Right, so let's go. I fudged it already. All right, here we go. So let me sort this out. Go back to here. It's not going to do it easily, but it'll be a very quick transition. There we go. So my this is just a placeholder. This is not my actual team, everybody. I have taken extensive research and time to actually prepare this team. And before you guys, crucify me for the decisions I've made, please understand. This is what I believe will be the best performing set of 14 that will play in this tournament. So, understand, I am very confident with this. But here goes nothing. Number one is David De Gea, the goalkeeper for Manchester United.
Is he even going to start, Ahmed?
I think Luis Enrique will put faith in him. At some point, Unai Simon will not be trusted as the Spanish keeper. And if he needs he hasn't played. He hasn't played. I get the idea for you to slag me off here. But I normally, when it comes to Man United, I feel like he is the one for me that does the job and can be, on good days, he can be the best keeper in the world. This last couple of seasons, he hasn't proved it. But if he's needed an excuse to redeem himself and regain that status of not only being Spain's number one, but playing a case next season for Oli to consider him being Man United's next big keeper, he's the one for me. And I listen, I love the man. He's absolutely incredible. And honestly, I'd be stunned if he doesn't get a shot at the Euros. And I know what happened the last time he was in there. Huh? He probably will. I think he'll start.
Come on. He's not started the last 8.
I think he's got a chance.
You don't just want to go for a lock-in, lock-in keepers.
Was it Pickford, Henderson, or probable lock-ins? I think Pickford's a questionable one.
But you're looking at Belgium, though. You could go with Courtois. You could go with Hideki of Finland. He's very cheap. You could go with...
You concede a fair few. Huretsky might concede a fair few. I'm faithful to David.
Cassius Michael.
Well, I have picked a Dane, but it won't be Schmeichel. No, I'm faithful to De Gea, not because of Man United. I just think this could be the tournament he could redeem himself and find his form again. He's not young, sprightly spring chicken anymore, but I hope as he's now at the peak of his powers and started to get into that stage of a goalkeeper where they start to develop and perform a lot better, he will certainly be able to use this tournament as a placeholder and a springboard to step up. And I think he should be my keeper. So,
show me your defence then. Show me your defence.
I could waffle all day about David.
Guys, actually, before we move on, I'm just going to retweet on our Twitter, going to head over the link of our fantasy football code. You can get into a league. Myself and Ahmed will be in it. We'll be fighting for this Recto United jerseys just as much as you guys. So if you want to, then head over. I'm going to quickly retweet it just now.
Make sure to get your picks in, by the way, guys, because at 8:00 tonight, when Italy-Turkey kicks off in Rome, the deadline is basically then. So you want to get your picks done before the competition actually starts. And then by match day 2 and all that shows. So
defense.
Number 2, Luke Shaw. Easy pick. He's the best left back in England for me, and for sure one of the best in Europe. Quietly saying probably the best in the world right now. But his form with Man United was incredible. He had a fantastic season on an individual level, and he's just been immense in a red shirt. I'm hoping that now he's in England colours, he continues that form, and he's on basically on the return path to better form, and hopefully this tournament will help him increase his reputation as one of the best left backs this country's ever seen. So Luke Shaw in my team.
Can't complain with that, Ahmed. I think that's pretty solid. I think he'll start over Chilwell too. But yeah, it's quite expensive. He's at 6 million, which is
It's quite pricey.
To pay that much for the.
It's quite pricey. I know, but I think it's just based on form. Really, he's been incredible. So I think he played well in the last few Premier League games, other than the ones we tend to ignore, the last 4. The ones that he has played well in are the ones that I tend to think he will perform best. If we see that Luke Shaw in the tournament, you're going to get a lot of success down the left-hand side, particularly with who he's playing with on that side. So it's that familiarity thing with Marcus Rashford, which I hope will flourish down there. So next up, it's not Alessandro Florenzi. It's actually Antonio Rudiger for Germany and Chelsea. Champions League winner. I have a friend of mine who literally worships him. I don't know if I can call it that, but yeah, he had an immense performance in the Champions League run towards the end of the season. Had so many great performances and was a rock at the back for Chelsea. So in Porto, he looks the confident sort of player that could take the game by a scruff of the neck at the back, and to keep a clean sheet in the Champions League final is something you don't often get to see from players. So for someone who's been ridiculed and criticised a lot, he's redeemed himself so well recently, and I think he deserves an opportunity now at this championships to enhance that even further. And I hope this is the opportunity for him to do that. So Rudiger for me.
Though, Ahmed. Think he'll keep a clean sheet against France on opening day?
Let's see. I think with how, as I said with Luke Shaw, your form leading into games can always determine how well you play in the next match. And for Antonio Rudiger, he has certainly been somebody I think that can carry form into big games. He'll treat this game like he did the game against City for Chelsea. I know it's for his national team, and I'm positive in him. I think this is his opportunity. You know, I think it's his opportunity.
You know what, Ahmed? You backed him up, so I can't argue with that.
Yeah, and if you win the Champions League, you deserve a shot in the European Championship. Aymeric Laporte frauded France, and he's in the Spanish team, but he's not my pick. My other pick is Kyle Walker. He unfortunately will start at right back. Why I say unfortunately, because due to Alexander-Arnold's injury, I think he should have started right back for England. But outside of that, in a 3, he has a role to play. And I'm quite firm that if Southgate does stick to that old system that he employed at the World Cup with Kyle Walker playing on the right-hand side of that 3, he's not easy to beat if you're for any attacker. So I'm confident in him to, again, play as he did in 2018. If not, he's one of the fastest right-backs we have in England, and he will certainly be, with his experience especially, important in the progress of our run through this tournament. So Kyle Walker in the back line for me as well. He's not going to play a centre-back, but yeah. No arguments there?
No, not really. I think 5.5 million is a good price for him. But yeah, no complaints for me. I think it's a good choice, Ahmed.
Lovely. Lucas Hernandez hasn't played much for Bayern, but he's not my pick either. I already had Luke Shaw. My actual pick has disappeared. So Luke Shaw was meant to be at left back. I need to actually now put in the player that I was meaning to put in.
Yeah, there's a search bar above as well, mate.
Thank you very much. Again, I'm not familiar with this, everyone, so do forgive me. I'm going to try this as rapidly as possible. Simon should be there. There we go. Simon Kjær of Denmark. He had a very good season with Milan, and albeit unfortunately didn't lead into winning silverware, but the root of Denmark's success, I think, at this European Championships will be their defense. And they have been very, very good at the back in the last few games. They have a strong team and could, with the potential that they have as a cohesive unit, they could go far in this tournament. I find him with his experience, having won a European Cup with Sevilla and done well with Milan this season, he'll carry that experience into the European Championships with Denmark, who haven't had much luck in these competitions in the last couple of years. But if off the back of their World Cup run, I think this should be another opportunity to see how good they can be on a continental level. So, Simon Kjær for me.
Great pick. Very cheap. And I mean, I did say this to you before we started, 4.5 million for a defender. You know, how can you complain with that?
Exactly, yeah. He is my wild card for me. I think he's the one that I believe, having seen him play a lot this season, he can be someone that will command of defense. He will take like I said with Rudiger, he'll take a game where it's rough on the neck, but has experience and can carry that experience in difficult situations. So I think he'll be important for Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark don't have a crazy group either. So if you do maybe even want to sub him out for match day 2, then I think that'd be a good option. However, I think match day 1, match day 3 is an absolute lock-in, and he will start. We know he'll start. So Ahmed, onto my team.
Let's have a look. See, I'm going to come across to you now because you've looked at my screen. But I'm going to remove my little thing. Oh, there you go. So I'm waiting for you now to sort your screen out. It's quite tedious, people. It's not as easy to set this all up and make it coordinated.
Right, okay. So this isn't my actual team. Don't worry about that. I've not got Jordan Henderson as my captain. I wouldn't ever do that.
Not after what happened last week.
Goals, I'm going with Unai Simon in goals.
So
I think he will 100% start for Spain.
Okay.
He played in the previous 2 friendlies. He played in the qualifiers leading up to this too. Only 1% have actually, chosen him. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up though. I was between him and Schmeichel.
Yeah. I can see where you're going with it though.
Who's also 5 million.
That's a bit steep for me though, even like not because he's cheap for the country obviously he's playing for.
You know what? I'm actually going with him.
Oh wow. Last minute change, ladies and gentlemen. He's actually gone with Schmeichel.
Because my thought process behind this is they've got Finland and Timothy is apparently not going to be fit enough to play. And I'm using my Limitless for match day 2, which allows me to trade out my full team for one match day only. So for match day 2, this team will not be up against, Belgium, for example. So I'll get him out and get a new keeper in instead. But Kasper Schmeichel, first and third game, I think he's got a very easy group to play against. I think, as we said yesterday, I think he'll come second. So this is when it gets interesting because for me, I can't look past this guy. He always starts. He's always solid, and they're up against Russia on opening day. So I'm going with Jason Denayer of Belgium. He started the last 8 games for Belgium. He starts in between Vertonghen and Alderweireld. He won't get many goals or assists, Ahmed. We all know that. However, a clean sheet is on the cards against, obviously, as I've said, match day 2, he won't be in against Denmark. So he's got Russia and Finland on match day 1 and 3. I think he's got a clean sheet written all over it. Any thoughts about that, Ahmed?
Denayer for me, I think I really only remember him from his time at Celtic and Manchester City.
Yeah,
he's built up a good reputation though at the last World Cup, and I thought he'd have continued his development on further and further. Yeah. I've got no qualms. I think if Roberto Martinez is trusting him to perform in a back 3 with 2 solid centre halves in Alderweireld and Vertonghen, I can't see any qualms with it. It's going to be interesting to see how in the actual games he copes with that pressure of playing in a major tournament again.
Done it before. So that's why I'm going for him, and he has experience. But I mean, the one guy who missed out, who's definitely going to actually be on my bench, I'm just going to add him in just now. Actually, I won't be able to. Oh, wait. Right, okay. My other player is Ricardo Rodriguez because again, match day 1 against Wales, match day 3 against Turkey. That's the games he'll play for me. I think he is vital to every single team. He takes the penalties. He's a set specialist as well. If he scores a goal, he gets 6 points straight away. The most that you can get for scoring a goal because he's a defender. And he likes an assist as well. He's very attacking. I need him in my team.
Yeah, I can see the idea behind it. He's got a very good left foot and has been accomplished as a set piece taker for years now. He played at the World Cup 7 years ago. He's been a stalwart in the Swiss team. And I think he'll be incredibly important if they are to get their goals. They will lean on him and I think Mars and a few others in that team. But Yeah, Rodriguez, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
But I'll be surprised if he doesn't get any shots in the team, to be honest.
So I was between this guy, Wijndal, because we're against Ukraine and Macedonia. So I was thinking he was going to start. He's going to start at left wing back for the Netherlands. However, I went against that, and I decided to go with Spinazzola.
Spinazzola. Oh. Now, I remember he played against Manchester United in the Europa League. Had for a few moments in those games, he had flashing moments of decent play, and something that I think could worry any opposition is how good he is with the ball at his feet. He can deliver across as well.
See, that's the thing, Ahmed. He's got a lot of assists for the national team as well. And just to make this easier, mate, I'm just going to add in my substitutes. The defenders. I've went through this guy. Oscar Wijndal.
Stick with him.
He is good, and I'll possibly actually do we start him or bring him on when he plays.
Yeah, I can see where your thinking is, but
on the 13th. Yeah, so let's say
it's even play tonight. So you would rather play
poorly. Let's play. Yeah. Any of these guys play poorly, I can swap them out for Wijndal on the. On what date is he? The 13th. So I could change him out.
Yeah.
Late at night, after the last match day. And then my other guy who I've got in is Joachim Mel, who
Mailer. This is how you say it. Mailer.
I can't say it.
Don't worry, anyway, that's why I'm a commentator, mate.
Anyway, he is good. He's got very good returns for his country. He's only played a handful of games, but I think I might actually bring him in if Spinazzola doesn't play very well on the opening day tonight. So yeah, that's my defenders.
Yeah,
he's literally a lock on at the moment out in the wing back spots. He can play left or right wing back. These are both wing backs, so I'm hoping for assists, and then obviously go down his clean sheets too.
Yeah, I think
the best part of 30 million spent. Ahmed, over to you.
Yeah, just quickly on your two subs. Wijndal potential. I think he's got plenty to show at this tournament. Could have been in the under 21 squad for Holland. Do think that he's got some frailties to his game, but he'll learn about them over time. Mailer, though, having been to Denmark, the locals in Denmark are rating him highly. They think he's the next. Way back in the day, not many will know about Thomas Helveg, but he was a very good attacking fullback and had a very good stamina array as well for a fullback. Played for Milan and Aston Villa for a little while. So he's got potential. He's got a steep learning curve as Joachim Mailer. I think he picked well there. All right, back to me.
Yeah, on your midfield, Ahmed.
So I've gone with a 4-3-3, as you can clearly see. You can see that it's a bit more of a why thinking about parking the buses, Robbie, which I'm slandering him for already. But Euros, for me, competitions like these, all about the attacking prowess. You've got to show balls in these competitions. So the midfield, I have not shunned away from picking the best of the best in the middle. And I think the three players I've picked here are definitely three of the best midfielders in the world right now. And without further ado, here they are. I'm going to start in the middle. It's not Joževac who's playing in that middle area. There, it is Barcelona's Frankie De Jong. He is a bit of he's a pretty
guys can get points.
He is a wonderful talent. He is fantastic on the ball. He is a great interceptor. Has a wonderful football brain. Ever since I've seen him play for Ajax in his early years, I thought then he'd become one of the best midfielders in the world. And he's only gone and cemented it further at Barcelona in the last year or so. And I can't see any reason why I can't keep him out. I love the boy. And he should be starting every single one of Holland's games. Except for me, in my opinion, he should. But I think they'll rest him for one or two if they do secure qualification. Other than that, though, he's immense, and I can see you. I can hear you scowling in the background. I think, Robbie, but I'm concrete with this one. I think De Jong is the gravy. He's the gravy, mate.
like I wouldn't ever go with like defensive midfield players for fantasy because they're not going to really contribute as much to obviously the attacking side. But it's not my fantasy team, Ahmed, so
I pick him because I think he's wonderful, and
amazing player.
Yeah, I took a lot, as I said, took a lot of consideration into this. So it's not easy to like leave certain players out. You can't imagine the amount of hair to pull out to finish this team. But yes, Frankie de Jong is my first midfielder. He's expensive at 7 million, but for quality in the midfield, he's worth it. I guarantee it. If he doesn't perform in this tournament, I don't know what he can do to make his career any better. I think he's doing well enough as it is. Next, it's the man of the match from this year's Champions League final, N'Golo Kante. Man has already won the World Cup. He is a Champions League winner. He's a Europa League winner. He's won the Premier League. The man's career is emphatic and it's incredible. And that performance in Porto demonstrated alone why every single person should have him in their team. Yes, again, a defensive midfielder, because why the hell not? But also, the purpose of him being in this team is simply because he's on a high right now. I don't see anyone at the moment being anywhere near as good as him on the pitch for stamina, for tackling, for passing, for confidence, and form.
Come on, you don't get any points for that.
I don't care. Robbie, fight me. I don't care. I want him in my team. Right, okay. I think he's it. And he is, for me, right now, he's the best midfielder in the world. And if he wins the Euros, it will cement him in that status because basically he'd have completed football. And from someone as modest as him, from a time when he was in Caen, in Ligue 2, to becoming a wonderful footballer and the talent that he is and the person that he is, he deserves the world, in my opinion. He deserves this opportunity in my fantasy team. N'Golo Kante. Why, though, Robbie, do you have quickly a reservation on this particular choice I have?
I just don't see if it was in the Champions League fantasy one, I would 100% have Kante in my team because ball retention, ball returns, things like that you get points for, whereas midfielders in this game don't. They only get points for assists, goals, staying on for longer than 60 minutes, which you'll get, but you won't get goals and assists.
Vibes. I'm joking. No, it's not for vibes. I just think he's fun. He's worth it. He's worth the 5.5 million.
Okay. Good enough.
So if especially, I don't know why he's so this is ridiculous pricing. Next is basically he's our Portuguese Magnifico, Bruno Fernandes. He's also my captain. And why not? Why not Bruno Fernandes? Have we seen what he did this week against Israel? Tore them apart. He's been the best midfielder for Manchester United for years. Has a fantastic goal scorer, probably one of his best goal scoring seasons. It hasn't topped the one he had at Sporting, but it has had an incredible rise to prominence in the last 36 months or so since he left Sporting as well. So he's worth the money that I've spent to bring him in. And this tournament, I hope, like it was for him in the Nations League in 2019, should be the tournament that will again cement him in that category of one of the best midfielders in the world right now. And I hope that he proves everyone wrong in this competition. He's earned the right to be here.
Do you not think that you've went for the group of death so much?
Do you know why? I think because
I'm scared of that group.
We're not even in it, Robbie. But I like the idea of the fact that because 3 teams are all in one group, that's going to only heighten the excitement levels and also make it more competitive. Portugal versus France, France versus Germany, Germany versus Portugal are all going to be incredible games, and they will all have the players playing at their absolute best to get them through this group stage. So considering that they are all together and they're all likely to be playing at their best anyway, I've gone with 3 of the best midfielders. So Kante, De Jong, and Fernandes in my midfield. And Fernandes is my captain because why not? He's basically God in this, in my opinion, when it comes to football right now. But
okay, over to me then for my midfield.
And we get rid of my screen, and now I'll wait your selections? Because I noticed you have 4 in the middle, not 3.
Yeah,
but
I'm 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not got Jordan Henderson as my captain, guys, unfortunately.
Yep.
However, I've got someone who plays such a strange role for his country, which he does not play, at his old club, Liverpool. And I've got Gini Wijnaldum, who's got more goals and assists in 10 games than what he's actually played. So I cannot keep him out of this team at 8 million. And as I said, Ahmed, match day 2, don't even bother looking at it because they won't be in the team for that one. I'll only have him against Ukraine on the opening match day for the Netherlands, and then I'll have him in against North Macedonia as well. So I do think he will, contribute, possibly goals and assists, and he's our talisman in midfield. Him and Frenkie De Jong. So Wijnaldum absolutely lock in for me, and I've had him in at the start. And it won't change. It will not change for me.
All right, fair enough. High-profile moves to Paris recently. I think this is his chance to prove a few doubters wrong. So, no qualms there.
Okay, so I've got Xherdan Shaqiri in.
Oh, another Liverpool player. Ex-Liverpool.
Midfield spot. Didn't need to say more about this. I mean, he's He's different breed, different gravy, for his country. I remember watching him back in the World Cups previously, and he's just never gives up. And see that, I'm guaranteed a few goals and a few assists from Xherdan Shaqiri, especially if they do get out of the group. And they are up against Wales, who, are very weak compared to what they were in the last Euros, and Turkey, who, I don't rate that much, Ahmed, for the last.
Due to Alexi's protest yesterday, we have kinded him a little bit by getting him through in the predictions. We urge you to watch that, by the way. It's great.
I was lying because
his next pick is Turkish.
Because this is not my first choice. He's playing an opening day. If he plays bad, so what? He's only 5.5 million. But not him. The guy
on your bench.
My bench. It's Ferran Torres of Spain, who will probably play up front for Spain. Not that many people have actually picked him, which it completely baffles me. I think he's a great player, and I think he's a must-have in the squads. Great player overall. I'm somehow missing a player.
Are you sure? You're falling short at the worst possible time.
Right, okay, so I have got Yazici, Wijnaldum, Shaqiri. I'm missing Eriksen.
Oh,
the bench.
You left him on the bench. Oh boy, that's a
no. I haven't. Sorry. Let me just fix this. So, I want your opinion on this. He's very expensive at 9 million.
Yes.
But he's against Finland and Russia for me. Do I keep him in, Ahmed, or do I go with possibly Berardi?
I mean, I can see the fair point you're making here with the Eriksen case.
Insigne.
Thing is, Insigne loves big games. He turns up for Napoli when it comes to the big occasions. For Italy, he doesn't often do it, but I think with it being somewhat a home competition for him and his and majority of the Italians, I think will treat it as such until their games in Rome are over. I believe that it's a very good. There's a good possibility he'll perform. For Christian Eriksen, though, your case with Eriksen, he's had a modest season at Inter Milan. I say modest because he hasn't played a lot of games. when he has played, though, he's been a significant contribution to their winning the league. And he will start for Denmark. I think, given the fact that he is basically their best player when it comes to attacking, delivering a shot, or playing a nice ball. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's ever dependable. And I can't overlook the fact that with someone as good as him in your team, you wouldn't want to leave him out. I think Denmark will lean on him for moments like this in the competition where big games depend on big players to turn up. He is their big player. And at the peak of his powers, he should be able to dictate a game and let it flow through him rather than his teammates.
Would you go with Eriksen?
I'd go with Eriksen. I think Yazici's had a fantastic season, and he plays a great role behind the strikers for Lille and for Turkey. For tonight, I wouldn't go against you putting him in the team for this evening, but if I were in your shoes, I'd start Eriksen over Yazici. But yeah.
Yeah, I just can't actually make the substitution just now, but that...
it would be one you could do,
because Ferran Torres plays on the 14th, so Eriksen plays on the 12th. So I'll have Eriksen and Ferran Torres on the bench. Whoever plays bad out of these players, sub them off, and I'll get Ferran Torres on.
Nice. I'm hopeful that Yazici performs for you now, in case you do not have to replace him.
It's not the end of the world, mate. It's just a substitution. And if he isn't great, then I wouldn't lose sleep over it. He's not obviously one of the best players in my team, and he's only 5.5 million, so it's not much of a risk. Anyway, Ahmed, over to you.
Right.
We are taking questions down below. I'll answer them as in detail as you want. Ahmed, we always love a question, especially with fantasy football. I do take it quite seriously. I like to be in the know about everything that goes on in the fantasy world. But Ahmed, on you for your strikers.
Yeah, I've just looped over to my photo just to make sure I don't make a mistake. Right, here we go. Oh, hello. Some Sancho news, but we're not going to get involved in that. Right, so next up, for the record, Sancho's not in my front three. There are no England players in my front three. That's something that will surprise you in the first instance. Why, you may think, because England have an abundance of attackers, but I think their defence are going to be the harder working set of players. So, in my attack are two world-class players and one who's may get overlooked by some, but I think will have a good tournament just based on how well he played this last season for his club. And that's who I'll start with. First, Jock is not the man I'm picking. 29 goals, maybe 30 actually, for his club and country this season. He scored in the Europa League final. It's Gerard Moreno, a stalwart of their attack for Villarreal, and it helps obviously Unai Emery secure his fourth Europa League title. Incredible season, and he's a predator. He's a pure predator. The last couple of seasons, he's been one of Europe's most clinical strikers. He doesn't even play up front. He tends to work off on the right hand side, or he can drift off behind the striker if he's asked to play behind them. So he can play pretty much anywhere across the front line. He doesn't have pace, but he's a really good mover. Very not good on the ball and a clinical finisher. Give him an opportunity in the box, he'll take it. So he's not that natural striker. He's got good build, tall, but he's a clinical finisher. And I just think you cannot overlook him after the season he's just had. And he'll be probably one of Spain's strongest players in the team in this competition, simply because they haven't got the best team this time around. But if they get him the ball and give him chances, he'll be the one I think that will certainly be important for Spain in this competition. There you go. Gerard Moreno. Next. Now you're going to kind of, cry foul, but the next two I've picked are two of the best in the world. Or one is, and one has maintained that status for a very long time. It's him I'll start with. He is a European champion, a multiple-time European champion, club and country, and basically is the captain of his country. like, you cannot overlook Ronaldo at this competition. Bloody hell. The man is just possessed in these big moments. He's won the competition already. He would love to defend it again. Led his side to the Nations League title in 2019 and has been basically one of the best forwards world football's ever seen. I think you cannot overlook Cristiano Ronaldo at a tournament like this and giving him the stage, and he'll perform in it. He's had a tricky season for Juventus, of course, but I, for one, think this tournament he will yet again show maybe just one more time, because there's only so many years left on him. But I think the next two major tournaments, this and the World Cup, will be his last two.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I'm just going to jump in quickly. I've got a message here.
Yeah.
Is Unai Simon versus Sweden or Szczesny versus Slovakia a better shout?
Ironically, there's something related to that question that will come up in my subs bench in a minute. But I think there's a good couple of calls there. Robbie, as you may have...
You can type in Wojciech Szczesny just now just to see his price. I don't know his exact...
Well, you don't have to worry. He's actually on my bench. He's 5 million. Yeah, I've picked him on my bench. Yeah. Szczesny would be the one I'd pick because I think he's like... very quickly, because I'll go back to my forwards, but he's been good for Juventus this season. He is their number one de facto. And for me, for Poland, he is dependent on much more than he is at Juventus because they already have a good defense. But for Poland, he steps up and he becomes a lot more solid keeper.
Poland don't have a terrible defence, though. They've got Kamil Glik. Bednarek's quite good for Poland as well.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely go with Szczesny. Unai Simon, I had in because that was from a very, very early on draft. But now, I've decided to go with Kasper Schmeichel. I don't really like doubling players up. So, let's say I've got Neuer in goals, and then let's say Ahmed, you use Antonio Rudiger. I think that's if they do concede a goal, you're basically two players irrelevant right away. So for me, I would definitely go with Szczesny because you probably won't have any Polish defenders in your team as well.
Yeah. We'll see. This is basically Robbie's case. We just swapped the hair out of the starting 11 spot. But I'm standing firm, Robbie. I'm standing firm. But it may change. You never know. It may change because we can make substitutions throughout the tournament. So, my final attacker is Kylian Mbappe. Bloody hell, man. Come on. Seriously? Memphis Depay, great player. But yeah, Kylian Mbappe. He's expensive, yes. But does he deliver? Yes. Will he be important for France? Yes. Will he start every game for France? Yes. Is he going to try and win another tournament? Yes, because first of all, the guy is in his 20s. He won his World Cup when he was 18 now, and he's 21. He's achieved so much for his Paris Saint-Germain. He hasn't won that big club success in the Champions League yet, but for such a prestigious talent, for someone as confident and as amazing to watch as him, I cannot overlook him in a competition like this. And if he needs a stage to really perform on, not only for himself but for his nation, this is that stage. He's the golden boy for a reason. So Mbappe is my man in the third attacking slot. Bench, Robbie?
Sorry about your actual Kylian Mbappe. I think Kylian Mbappe is a great shout. I personally wouldn't have him. I think for 12 million though,
it's expensive. I know.
So is Ronaldo. I just think you're better off with I don't actually want to say. Can I just go into mine, Ahmed, just now?
You can, if you want to. I'm happy for you to see what your idea is for.
Because I don't obviously want to get. I'm trying to bite my tongue there. I nearly actually used the name of the guy who I've got up front, and it's. I can't stay away from this guy.
Okay, here we go.
In fantasy football.
Romelu Lukaku. Makes sense.
Russia and Finland.
You're banging.
Going to score. On the first day, I'm obviously Ahmed. You can change your captains every single day, and if you don't do well, if you're not happy with how many points that they got, then the double points get taken off of your captain. And whoever you give the captaincy too, who's still playing in that match day, have their chance to double their points. So for me, I'll probably go Yazitski or Spinazzola as my captain in the first day. I'm not expecting him to do well, but am I expecting Romelu Lukaku to do well against Russia on the second day? Yes, I am. And I'm putting my money on him. 11 million, that is well spent. And the difference that I think between, like, you know, putting it on Mbappe, putting it on Ronaldo, it's the fact they're up against hard opponents as well. No disrespect to these teams, however, they're not on the same level as France's group, you know, the group of death. So for me, Romelu Lukaku is a must in pretty much every single team. But yeah, my other two strikers, who have I got? I've got, what you got, man? Memphis Depay. Oh. I seen him against Scotland. Obviously, I watched the friendly. They looked an absolutely broken team, and that was their team that they'll go with in Euros against a half Scotland team due to COVID restrictions. And he's the only guy. He is their creator. You know, him and Wijnaldum, I'd say, actually, sorry, in the attacking sense, they're missing so much their game, the Netherlands. However, I do think they'll still make it out of this group. I think they're lucky, because I don't think they would if they were in most other groups. However, Ahmed, as I always say, I won't have him in for match day 2. I won't have any of these players in for match day 2. So Ukraine and Macedonia, I cannot look away from that. I think Memphis Depay is going to have a great tournament, and I think, you know, Barca are very, very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
I'm a
no cards there for me, yeah. No cards for me there. Ooh, this is a wild card choice.
Who'd I want to watch in the tournament? Because, I mean, see his goal contributions, his goals that he scores, his assists, his hold-up play, he's very complete. And he does have a Macedonia on the opening day, which they should be expected to win. And he's got class out wide as well. You know, David Alaba will be running up the wing. He plays on the left flank, which isn't like him. He's usually much further back in centre-back now. However, for Austria, plays out wide. You know, and balls will just get through into him, and he will head it. He will do it. And I'm quite confident, and I'm definitely not against the Netherlands. However, in Macedonia, in Ukraine, I'm going to stick with my man Sasa Kalajnik, which rounds up my strikers. Controversial, however.
Nothing wrong with those at all. I don't have any problems with Kalajdzic in your team, because there have been times this season I've watched him play, and I've looked at him and thought, there is your target man in desperate situations when you need like someone to stab a late goal, or if you're just going for it, he's your man to lean to. And no, I'm not saying it's just based because he scored against Scotland, but how he performed in that game defined exactly what he can do, not only for club but for country as well. And Stuttgart are lucky to have such a player in him, so he probably is one of the next big things up front in terms of like a serious target man for me.
Ahmed, so I've got 4.5 million. I think it'd be absolutely crazy to use that elsewhere. And what I'm thinking of doing is possibly cutting down on, you know, pronounce it, Ahmed.
All right, how are you spelling it right now? I need to see it in bigger text. Mela.
It's a great name, but you know, I think I'm going to cut him down, possibly put in a 4 million defender. Affordable. And we'll go with defender. So, oh wait, that did not work. How would they actually find like a centre back for 4 million? Because I'm really looking.
I don't think they can clearly help in that sense with search, but yikes.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'd love to, put in a £4 million, defender, and bump the price up. Like that allows me then to, add to that. But I think I'm going to use Hideki in goals just for the bench. There we go.
Okay. Sounds like you've thought this through.
And then I would take out. Who do you take out of this midfield? So I've got Eriksen, Zitsky, Torres, Wijnaldum. So probably for a defender.
Yeah.
4 million. Let's say 4 million. I'm taking off of this. So I've got $1 million added onto this. Added onto these.
I'm thinking names, but I'm trying to be as.
You think I take out Shaqiri?
Switzerland play tomorrow. Do you think it's?
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
He did.
Right, he's going for it. Lorenzo Insigne. He's gone for it.
And then I'm going to downgrade elsewhere. I really need to get rid of one of these guys.
Tricky. Spinazzola. Although El Kraus asked the question, are you guys fairly certain Spinazzola will start and play 60 minutes at least? I did say earlier on he has just come back from injury. So would he be able to last the distance? That's quite a difficult thing to expect.
I think I've got what I want.
Yep. You just need to fill one spot on the bench now.
Yep. So defence, Ahmed, €4.5 million defender.
That's tricky. What have I put? I haven't done my bench yet. Actually, let me just sort that out because it's slightly wrong.
Yeah, so I think I'll just put in someone, possibly Elvedi. I don't know. I feel as if that'll be like I won't even use that spot at all. When does Hideki play? He plays in the 12th.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't have that. Right, guys. What other keeper could I get for 4 million? I'm trying to think because
goalkeepers you could get for 4 million.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. See. I've put my parameters on to affordable. You have a few choices, I think, but the only ones
here we go.
Found one?
Yeah, I think he's literally the best one, to be honest.
Hradetsky, Johnson, Debush. Yeah, you don't have a lot of options.
No. I think I might just go with this. I don't really like to double up. I'm doing it. I'm going back to what I knew. And
so
I'm going
you
to
don't see him on. Controversial, but whatever you have to do to keep a clean sheet.
And then I'll put on. No, I won't put him in because I've already got. So these guys are playing on what date? The 12th. So I'm looking for players who are playing after the 12th of June. Now, this is the way I look at it, guys. So I've got those guys in. I know they're going to start. So I'm looking at after this date. So I'm looking for possibly Austrian defenders, the Netherlands, possibly. I could go with Jan Bednarek on the bench.
As long as you know that Poland will perform in
I'm going to. Yeah, Bednarek on the bench. 4.5, and that is my team, guys, sorted. The one thing that I would change, obviously, is the captains. However, Ahmed, let me just confirm this.
So I'm just making a couple of adjustments to my bench. Bear with. someone who's bad to start, I think I can afford this.
Yes, I'm just going to sub out Christian. I'm going to sub out Ferran Torres for Christian Eriksen because Ferran Torres plays on the 14th of June.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the midfielders play 12th, 13th. Insigne obviously plays tonight, and Yazici plays tonight. So what I'm going to do is make Lorenzo Insigne my captain.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting, but I think you've pretty much, in my honest opinion...
I'll go with... I'm just going to put Harry Decky on. Why not?
Okay. Because,
I can sub him out anyway. So if he doesn't play well, doesn't perform, he plays on the 12th, obviously. Unai Simon plays 2 days later on the 14th. So if I'm not happy with his points, I can sub him out for Unai Simon. And there's no issues there.
Good.
I think that's my team. I'm going to confirm it, Ahmed. That is me completed. I'm ready for tonight.
All right. Let's just confirm mine then, if you may, just to make sure you are happy. That is Robbie's team. And now for moi, I have made a couple of adjustments on the bench. Alessandro Bastoni and Marcos Llorente have squeezed in. If I just go to... Can I see the whole team? I should be able to. But there you go. There's the 2 transfers. And I'll confirm them just to make sure. There we go. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is my Euro 2020 fantasy team. I've gone with not only the quality and the strength that most of these teams have in terms of attack and midfield. I simply don't trust England so much up front in some cases. So in major tournaments in particular, even though they're at Wembley, I think the 6 I've picked up front will be important for their teams in their own individual scenarios. Bruno Fernandes as captain. Why not? He's been fantastic for all season. I'm hoping he gets to continue that. The bench is simply focused on 2 things. Obviously, the fact that each team, one plays tonight, that is Italy, and I will be probably later on swapping. I'll do it now because England don't play until Sunday.
We have a quick question. So,
go on.
Should they play Spinazzola or Bonucci? Definitely Spinazzola. Bonucci, he probably will keep a clean sheet, the way that Italy have been playing at the moment. However, Spinazzola will be cheaper, and he also gives you, that outlook of he can possibly grab an assist, which will give you extra points. So for sure, I would go with Spinazzola. For me, I think unless the guys are absolutely steals, at like 4.5 million, like Ahmed, you've got Simon Kjæren, and Rudiger's relatively cheap as well. I would preferably go with fullbacks like Spinazzola, like Ricardo Rodriguez, like Mel, and guys like that who could possibly get assists. And if they're on set pieces, then that's even better. They'll get a goal. But I like the look of your team. I think it's a very good team, apart from obviously. Best of luck, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm committing, so
on you go.
There we are. That's my team picked.
Guys, remember you can make up changes right up until the deadline, which is kick-off tonight. And I think that's us. I think that's us sorted. I think for the very good pod. No, it wasn't even a podcast. It's more about about the fantasy league. We'll be doing more of these. Possibly before every match day, we could do one of these just to see if we're making any changes. When we're using a limitless match day, and when we're using an actual wild card, which keeps our team the way we want it, and we can make as many changes as we want.
There's plenty to do yet.
Plenty to do.
We've got hope for it.
We've got the game tonight. Ahmed will obviously watch that and enjoy it. And we'll probably be back over the weekend, possibly Sunday night, or the day after for the England game. But
if I'm not tired after Sunday,
tell you something, guys, I will not be on the Monday because it's Scotland versus Czech Republic, the biggest game of the full tournament. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Every single question will get answered, unless it's out over the top and crazy. However, good good questions for us, Ahmed. Spinazzola, Bonucci, Chesney or Simon. I'm sticking with Simon. He's my guy going into this. And yeah, good luck. If you haven't already, guys, check out our Twitter, check out our YouTube, like and subscribe. And also, we've got the fantasy code, which is on our Twitter handle as well.
Robbie, before we do sign off, I think we are Man United fans at the end of the day. It's only right we pay tribute to Alex, or also known as Kipster United on Twitter. A lot of us will have followed his story this week, and unfortunately, it did end in his passing. Ultimately, he was having surgery to repair his heart. It didn't sadly go well, and we here at Trafford Talk, as a collective, myself, Robbie, and all involved, wanted to pay tribute because not only us, the likes of Marcus Rashford and the club themselves have passed on condolences, and to highlight this as a collective supporter, supporting group who love the club and will always back one of our own. We will miss him greatly as a member of our community, and we're all saddened by this horrible news today. So, to condolences to his family and those who are connected with him. So
that's well said, Ahmed. As we say, we are a community podcast. We're always out to try and help people, give people opportunities, as we've done in the past, Ahmed, and the amount of people that we've had on this podcast who have influenced how we move forward, and we're literally friends now. It's one of those things where
it is,
we're planning meetings and stuff like that, and I never thought I'd have this, just from talking about United, talking about what I actually like. And I like saying, and probably not Cam, I mean, he's in Canada, unless he wants to fly over. But yeah, they would say the exact same. But good podcast, well, not podcast, good video about the Fantasy League. Best of luck, Ahmed. I hope I do still finish above you. However, I don't want you to do terrible either.
Can't be too bad to wish bad luck on your opponent. Just all I can say. That's all I can say.
Right.
Good luck to you too, though, mate.